I didn't have an easy start. My father struggled with addiction, and the chaos at home weighed heavily on me. As a young child, I was already getting into trouble, throwing rocks, stealing things. By the time I was in my teens, life was filled with challenges. My mother remarried, but my relationship with my stepfather was difficult. I took every chance I could to escape. At 13, I earned a scholarship to a school that trained young men for maritime careers. I was disciplined and determined to leave home, but my rebellious side got the best of me, and I was eventually expelled. Yet, I'd already secured a job, and by 16, I was aboard my first ship, starting a new journey across the world. I loved the sea, but the lifestyle led me to excessive drinking, and I found myself drifting without purpose. At 20, I was let go from my job and returned home, feeling more lost than ever. I wandered around, riding my motorbike aimlessly, and eventually found myself homeless. At my lowest, I thought of ending it all. But then, unexpectedly, a group of kind strangers invited me to their temple, sharing a glimpse of spirituality and hope that I hadn't considered before. I'd always believed in God, but it felt like something distant. My family had gone to church, but I was still searching. In a moment of desperation, I decided to set out to find meaning, hoping to reach where I could find fulfillment. Instead, I ended up in Europe with little money, no passport, and nowhere to turn. In a twist of fate, I joined a foreign legion. Life in the legion was brutally tough. Their motto was "Long live death." This felt like a dark echo of my own despair. With some others, I went AWOL, and we attempted a wild escape by stealing a boat. We didn't make it far before it sank, and I ended up punished with months of hard labor, hitting what felt like rock bottom. My mother wrote to me around that time, telling me she'd experienced a rebirth in faith. Angry, I challenged God, demanding proof that he was real. During an Easter parade, we were moving a life-sized effigy of Christ to the parade ground. In that moment, as I stood in front of it, I had a revelation. I saw myself not as a passive believer, but as someone complicit, as though I could have been among those who crucified him. Overwhelmed, I began to cry, whispering, "Lord, I'm sorry." Then something incredible happened. I felt an unmistakable voice within me saying, "I love you and forgive you." After that, I was transformed. I started sharing this love with everyone around me. I left the Legion, reconciled with my family, and eventually met the woman who would become my wife. We built a life together and now have grown children of our own. Looking back, I realized that every part of my journey, the good, the painful, the mistakes, was leading me to find something greater. Some people are easily reached, like soft fruit, but for others like me, it took a bit more. When I finally let God in, he changed my life forever.
Thank you for watching. If this video was a blessing to you, share your thoughts with us. Be a blessing to someone by sharing this video and subscribe to get more real-life stories of awesome acts.